Oh my goodness, you guys. What is going on here? What is happening? I have to put my sunglasses on. My future is so bright. Listen to me now and hear me later, guys. Hold on. World, hold on. I can't even talk right now, you guys. Listen. Someone asked me a very specific question about languages, especially when it comes to Spanish. Something you probably want to try and avoid is using the words no problema o ni modo. Stop saying these two things. Stop saying, because here's why, okay? If you stop saying no problema, so stop saying problema, because what seems to happen is it's a level of mediocrity that says you accept mediocrity. No problem. Don't say that anymore. When somebody does something for you or you do something for them and you respond to them saying no problem, you're going to end up with problems. Especially down here where mañana means fucking never. So we're going to work on this. Okay, listen. Instead of using no problema, you got to say un placer. Because now you have changed the dynamics of the English root word. What is that word? Pleasure. Because now, when you say or address somebody and you say un placer, it's a pleasure doing business with you. And when a person feels like they can trust you, they will do business with you. That is why I was able to become the most popular firefighter in a foreign country, not knowing the language fully, having been invited to all the stations in Mexico, been able to meet with all the top commanders in Mexico, not fully understanding how things are done here, because they're definitely not done the same. But because I decided to say, stop saying no problema, and started saying un placer. This has been the game changer because I stopped saying the thing that caused the problems, and that is to say there is no problem, as to identify a problem. Instead, to say that it is a pleasure. I think everyone should say this in every language, even in English. Un placer. It is a pleasure to do business with you. People do face-to-face business in Latin America, so people are not responding to texts real fast and not responding to emails at all, if ever. They don't do anything on Google Business as far as maps go, so that's a huge advantage for you guys that are coming down to set up your own businesses, because when it comes time for you to be on Google Maps, you'll be on the map already. You already have a jump 500 meters ahead of every fucking buddy else. Do you know that good? Do you know how good that feels to go to your Google Maps and have 750 positive reviews you didn't even know about? Because you started way back when, and everybody else is just now playing catch up. So now it's a great big placer. It's a pleasure. It is a pleasure. And then it goes a step further because they honor you. What's nice about being rich, as far as like standards are, standards as in like, I'm a very wealthy man. I'm really fabulously wealthy as far as North American terms are concerned. But when it comes to third world countries, because I support so many people in the community, I live just like a regular person. So I've been able to do great things with what I've been given, and I keep absolutely nothing. I spend 125% on my foundation every month. I donate more than I bring in. I donate more than I bring in. Can you guys, because it doesn't matter to me. Because everything now is un placer. Everything is a pleasure. No longer are my money used to be money problems. People would owe me money and I would say no problem. No more. Because one, I stopped being humble. That is some bullshit that we've been programmed to believe, that we should all be fucking humble, that it's somehow honorable to be humble. It's all bullshit. Do not be humble because it makes you look weak. You need to be strong all times. And it is a placer because now you no longer have those okay, no problem problems. You have a placer, a pleasure doing business with me. Because now I have changed the dynamics of dealing with broke, bum ass people that are illiterate to dealing with not just, oh my gosh, fellas, let me tell you something. I had nowhere to fucking go. Pot to piss in, window to throw it out of. I opened an Airbnb. I fixed the place up. I was being charged $350 a month. I was renting for $1,500 a month, which gave me the flexibility to rent 2 other Airbnbs. In the contract, I made it very clear to them that I would be renting it out Airbnb, by the room or by the apartment. It was $1,500 in the nicest part of Mexico City. The nicest part, because all the other rents for the month there are crazy $3,000 a month, and they're absolutely no better than the place that I had. My place was amazing. I had a view of the fucking brand new Ritz-Carlton. Man, that was awesome. And when I tell people, oh yeah, they think in Mexico would be like all deserts and cactus and people running around dressed in mariachi. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, Miami here. And I go on out of the roof and I was like, oh, there, by the way, that's the Ritz-Carlton. Zoom into that bitch right there. And it is stunning. Brand new Ritz-Carlton in Mexico City. But anyway, I opened up my 5th Airbnb, and then I suddenly hit the jackpot because there was one person that had a building, and the first floor of that whole building was available for rentals, and it was off season. So when I locked in a price, I was able to get one bedroom apartment with a full kitchen, full living room, a small patio, with all fully furnished washer and dryer, whole thing for $450, $420 each one. And I was able to triple those rents. Because basically, if you break it down like this, if it's $50 per day, which is about 1,000 pesos, that means 1,000 pesos times 30 days is 30,000 pesos. Now, how much do Mexicans make in a month? 4,000 pesos. So as you can see, I would prefer to deal in dollars and then live on pesos because that's the way that we're going to operate here anyway. So because the majority of the people who are traveling here are from Europe or from the United States. And they all think in dollars. And if it's $45 a night and the other ones are 65 and it's a steal and it's in a good location, which by the way, it was like 5 or 6 French restaurants, Japanese restaurants, Italian restaurants, great cafes, all French people sitting and fucking smoke cigarettes and a chocolate and then drink coffee on this street. So we're not talking about some rundown junk, place that you would see on television. So that's the problem, is that most people see Mexico as what they see on television, which is Juarez. It's like the worst parts of like Mexico that you would never go to. I mean, why would you go to a place that has nothing there to see that's beautiful? No, you would go directly to the places that are nice, where you see the nicer dressed people, where the food is better, where it smells nice, lots of trees and lots of greenery. That's precisely what I did. You pick up the highest level of volume of high traffic areas. You put it out there it's available to everybody who's got money in their hands, because Airbnb is great for that because you have insurance. If anything happens, you're covered. So then that is just one point of entry. You got a dozen other things that if you got guys that are coming from the airport, you can charge them $100 to drive them from the airport to whatever hotel, or if they're going to another town, or bringing them to where they would be transported to their bus or something like that. And you can make money holding up a sign saying Mr. Jones or whoever is arriving. And those people will tip you and they pay you in advance. It's amazing the applications that these things have, like especially for tourist services. So another thing is that if you want to make dollars, you start working on Fiverr, Upwork. Check out Fiverr, especially because Fiverr seems like it's a no-brainer. If you have any specific digital skills whatsoever, you could sell those services for $5 each. or more. I think I've paid up to $300 for like post production for an old video back on my old YouTube channel. So whatever it takes, guys, you know you got to jump on this. If you really want to live overseas, you need to find a way that you can make money overseas and not have to go to that country and set up shop and live off the local economy, because that would be disastrous. I know I am in a foundation that literally costs more than it brings in by 125%. 125% of the expenses that are here come out of this guy's pocket every single month, because there are absolutely nobody donating to a Mexican charity. It might be racist, it might be precaution, whatever the case might be. I'm happy because I'm going to tell you this. I had a lady from the news contact me, and she didn't contact me to do a report on me. No, she contacted me to ask me if I was interested in some socks. And that was probably the sweetest gesture anyone has done since we started this foundation years ago. This lady sent me the most comfortable, waterproof, cold weather socks I've ever owned in my life. They were the greatest socks. I think it was like 6 or 9 pairs of them. Completely, just comfortable. They're about that thick. That was nice. Then a few weeks ago, a lady donated 2 helmets for the kids. The kind that, they're really good ones. They crank on. They don't have a chin strap. I'm like, oh, come on, man. We have to go rappelling. We have to have chin straps so these kids don't have, proper headgear. So we got a ton of gloves. That was nice. Those donations of gloves were really nice. We got a handful of helmets from time to time. We have tons of new uniforms. What we don't have is material to make the hoodies. The problem with that is it needs to be made of a specific type of material that's very expensive. And if you are in the United States and you want to send a roll of that material, it's called Nomex. Nomex. It's a fire resistant material. So basically, when we go out and put out forest fires, we have this hood that goes up and over like this. Okay, it doubles for our mask, and it goes underneath our helmet. But it basically protects us from smoke. Because in the forest fires, we don't have tanks of air and nothing like that. So if you have access to Nomex, we need a bunch of the hood scarves, the hoods, so that the kids can have hoods, so that when we do start practicing, they'll get used to the heat. Because that's the main thing, is just get used to the equipment, so when you actually are in a situation where it actually is hot and you gotta be resistant to the temperature, you're gonna have to deal with it. So I'm about 13 minutes in. I appreciate everybody who's come by and said hi, because that's been cool. And I appreciate anybody who wanted to donate. We're only interested in donation of equipment. So if you have any old water pumps, if you have any old trailers, if you have any old chassis, anything that we can make from scrap to make literally an army of new fire equipment, that's what we're going to do, because it's all research and development. It means that anything and everything we make here is completely homemade, because it's for research and development. When we do forestry, we're going to be doing stuff that is going to be mind-blowing, so that less cost in the municipalities, plus it's new inventions. That's all I got for the days. I'm the Professor Mex, and I'm out. Hey!